TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Jared, hey, we're gonna need you to tone it down with the Summer Friday thing, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, for one, it's not summer anymore.
Oh, really?
Coconut. Also, who is this?
I'm the caddy.
Oh, he's my intern?
Sorry, intern. I'm his intern.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
No golfing in the office, okay? Summer Fridays are over. You can keep the Hawaiian shirt, but the rest of this stuff, all right? Are you grilling?
Oh, yeah. Did you want a burger or a hot dog?
No, grilling in the office.
That's a good point. We should take this outside.
No, that don't. You put that right back down.
Yo, it's all in the hips.
Oh, dude, come on, we gotta go. Let's
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the TPCSI Sports Studios, the #1 sports information program in America, the Breakfast Bankroll, with your host, the sports broker, Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it is the Breakfast Bankroll for Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. 7 days to Christmas Eve. Geez, a week from today is Christmas Eve. How time flies. Shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships, of course. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download that app. It is free. Travis, Zach, myself, Amber, Holly, Jay, Matt. The list is endless. Come on board today. Enjoy the ride for the rest of 2024 and buckle up for 2025. We got a lot of big things brewing at WagerWire. Can't wait to start with some of the goodies, the giveaways, and maybe some breaking news, but we'll get to that at some point. Viva Tequila Salsa, CT Bets, Austin, my go-to guy, family, second to none, new flavor lemon, and of course the East Coast is Cuckoo for Coconuts, and we are excited to be a part of Viva Tequila Seltzer. So again, go try one, excuse me, where you drink adult beverages. And if you have a problem and they don't have one, ask why. And last but never least, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Terry Smith, jump on over to Facebook, introduce yourself while you're there. Head on over to atlantasteaksandseafood.com. Place an order today. Use the promo code STEAKS10. Get 10% off your whole order. Steaks, chops, lobster tails, appetizers, turkey, you name it, he's got it. And get your order in before the 20th so you'll have it for Christmas, as we're anxiously awaiting the star of the show, Mr. Andrew McInnis. Looks like he's having internet problems. So I tried to grab the bull by the horns and get this started because I know he has a show at 11 o'clock. And I might have to start going to his secretary, his agent, one of these fashionably late, you know how the rock stars are. But here he is. Let's bring him in, the one and only Andrew McInnis. What's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with my internet provider, Jeff, because I'm paying way too much per month, and I find myself hotspotting on my phone more than actually using my Wi-Fi that I pay for. Like, I'm currently on my hotspot for my phone, and the funny thing is, the phone is with a different company than my Wi-Fi is for, and I just got my bill today for the month, and not even using it. Like, my job is to do videos and live streams every single day, and yet I'm sitting there. I couldn't even open my email to get your link. So hopefully we can give out some winners today and give out some good info, because I'm not having a good day already, and it's only early.
I'm going to tell you this, and I know how the internet works. You know how it works. Your hotspot works better than your service.
Yes, definitely. It's clean. It's working well. There's no problems. And that is the problem, because this is the best internet we've had together in weeks, and I'm not even using my internet. I'm using my phone, my mobile hotspot. I mean, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. So I it's always my last resort too. It's always the last resort. You don't want to go to your phone because you're paying for internet. When I moved to the community I live in now, the townhouse I live in had a partnership with this internet and cable company. So I fell for the trap. That's the thing. I fell for the trap. Oh, you've got the partnership. Okay, we'll try and figure it out. This is a bad idea. And I'm usually kind of a wimp when it comes to calling and complaining about stuff. I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy to return food at a restaurant if it's cold. I'm not saying I can't assert myself sometimes, but I'm not a complainer. But I might have to make a call today, because that bothers me. That's just, I'm sitting here waiting for Gmail to load so I can talk to you. And I see this wonderful Christmas background. I got my Christmassy sweater on. I'm trying to be in a good mood, and it's ruining it for me.
Well, the funny is, I'm slowly getting these emails. My gym membership due to inflation is going up $3 a month, and it doesn't sound like much, okay?
Yeah.
But when they have 5,000 members, right? So they just made a quick $15,000, and you times that times 12 times a month. They just made a cool $180,000 for the year. And I know my gym, which is great, and I've been grandfathered in. I'm not complaining about the fee. My point is, they're going to make an extra $180,000, which I want to see go back into the gym, which you and I both know A, won't happen, and B, of course, I was with DirecTV since day one. It's like the cell phone. I had that bag phone. I was one of the first people ever to have a cell phone. I was with Singular One, AT&T, whatever, for 20 years. I'm the same way. I like customer service. If you provide good customer service for me, I'm a loyal customer. And I, too, don't bitch and yell and complain. I'm not that guy that says, oh, by the way, I've been with you for this long. How much you going to give me? Oh, and by the way, YouTube, who when I started was $59 a month, and then I took the little kick in the jimmies when they increased it, and they took away my MLB network. Oh, just quietly saying, we got to bump you up another $10. And so with my additional $10, I'm up to $100 now a month with YouTube, which is a lot less than $250 a month from DirecTV. But they got us by the you-know-what, Mr. McInnis.
Yes. We don't have YouTube TV here, but I have friends in the States that do, and they've said it's almost like they teased you guys. They showed you how great it was, showed you all the stuff you can get, gave you a good price with it, and now who's going to want to cancel it? Nobody. Nobody wants to cancel that, so then they can just raise it up to whatever they want to raise it to. And one thing funny, I will say this, because this is in relation to last night's hockey game with the Oilers and Panthers. I used to kind of make jokes on Twitter about how a lot of times in the States, you guys will have to watch this channel to get this game, or this channel to get that game, or Prime, or this. Well, there is one night now in Canada that you have to watch a certain channel to get a game. And Monday night is prime Monday night hockey here in Canada now. So you can't watch it on cable. If you don't have a Prime membership, you can't watch it's usually like one Canadian team per week that's playing on Monday will have like the Prime Monday night spotlight. And they do a really, really good job. Like, it's like, you can tell it's better production than the regular TV people. But that's the only thing. So for us so far, it's pretty good. But anyway, we've got a ton of time still to talk picks, Jeff. I swear on everything in my life, I was sitting here at my desk waiting to get on with you, man.
Well, I believe you, of course. And it's funny because we talk about marathons. We talk about grinding, the good, the bad, the ugly, the highs and lows. Our job's try to keep you even keel and try to creep. And we had a great start in the hockey. We've slowed down in our hockey and scoring wasn't there, whether it was the holidays, the quarter pole, whatever it is. My point is, I woke up Friday and I was heated. I'm just like, I've had enough of this. And since Friday on a 12-1 heater, my eyes are absolutely razor sharp in college basketball team totals. I talked to you via text last night and I almost physically called you because there's a system play, teams coming off a shutout, first period overs. But we never talked about a team coming off back-to-back shutouts. And I said to you, my eyes were fixated on the Panthers full game. The Panthers, first period, the over was only minus 125. And the funny was, you couldn't do the team total for Florida, which they got basically in the second period, because they gave you the 2.5, not 3.5. Thoughts on that amazing 6-5 game last night?
You know, Jeff, it was very interesting because I didn't actually catch the one that I didn't jump on Florida's first opportunity to bet the first period over after a shutout. And it was such a happy accident that I didn't see it because, of course, it would have lost. And then, of course, you see them off back-to-back shutouts. And I think it was more important to look at it like this. Sometimes the fact that it was back-to-back shutouts and it was against a good opponent, you know, some teams like Florida, I say this quite often about, you know, finding a way to get up for a game, right? Get involved, get excited. These players walk into the arena. Like, you know, think about the heyday of the Golden State Warriors. And I'm not saying that the Florida Panthers are the Golden State Warriors, but there were definitely games that they woke up for when they were playing the Philadelphia 76ers, when they were winning 8 games in a season. You know, they could go out clubbing all night long and still win by 28 points, right? This was a game the Florida Panthers had circled. So people looked at them and said, look, they lost a handful of games in a row. Edmonton's won a bunch of games in a row. Why should I ever take Florida? And I liked Florida as well, but I liked the total even more, so I decided to take that. You know, I really hate seeing penalties dictate games. It just bothers me. You know, especially if it's not like plays along the board or like really plays that decide it. And I'm not sure if you saw in the first period there, Darnell Nurse, I had already cashed the over 1.5, but Darnell Nurse takes a tripping penalty. And then he says something to the ref. He was complaining. And immediately the referee gives him an extra 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike. And all through my social media platforms, I'm seeing people say, does this referee know that we're not here to watch him? That we're not here to watch him perform. We're here to watch the players. So all of a sudden, a shot from the point goes off Matthew Tkachuk's skate. They review it, say it's a good goal. Boom, they're up 2-1. But what a back and forth contest. And here's one guy I'm going to mention for fantasy guys out there or for prop bettors out there. Zach Hyman is back, Jeff. He's back. And his shot number was 2.5 goals. And as you know, I haven't been doing prop betting for clients this year. It's been more of a content piece. And, you know, a good thing to mention on shows. Yesterday, his number was 2.5 minus 120. Sunspots had 130. Last year in the playoffs, you'd be getting 3.5 at minus 125, 130. So if you look at the value, just, you know, he had 2 goals yesterday. he had 3 shots after the first period. This team is coming along, but I'll throw it back to you with this. Are you a believer, even in the NHL, that there's games that certain teams certainly get up for more than others?
1,000%. I mean, the Bruins, Florida's obviously their kryptonite. They Mike Felger on 98.5, says we're their bitches, and he's always taught there's certain teams, that have our number, and you called it, you look at any sport and you got a bullseye on your back, and when you're coming to town, the Chiefs get the best punch from every team in the NFL. There you talked about Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers back in the day. Right now, the Celtics are getting everyone's best punch because they're the defending champs. It happens in college football, whether your name is Georgia, Alabama, found out the hard way this year. So it happens. And in hockey, again, as you know, we're well past that quarter pole, and you talked about Florida, you're talking about Edmonton. There's some teams on life support right now. I mean, there's some dregs. We know there's some dregs, and there's some teams at the top, but it doesn't really matter what you're doing in the end of December. We've seen the Blues catch lightning in a bottle to start of the new year. We talked about Dallas last year. This is about the point where Dallas started to catch fire. If I asked you, Andrew, before we dig into tonight's slate, if you had your eyes on one team that you think is slowly rounding into form and might be a good buy spot right now, do you have one at the top of your head?
Slowly rounding into form. Who would I use for that example? I'm not sure if this is kind of a bold pick by any means, but this is a team that came to my head. I'm impressed by Tampa Bay. They're in a playoff spot, obviously, so I'm not giving you a team that's a long shot. But we started the season, we heard Florida, we heard Toronto, we heard New York, we heard Carolina. Hey, look, the Ottawa Senators are going to be improved. There wasn't really much talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jake Gensel is on an absolute tear right now. He scored a hat trick over the weekend. This is a team that I've made money on with team totals over the past few weeks. This is a team that you can make money on. Kucherov is still one of the best players in the world. And, I think they're a little bit forgotten about. And it's interesting. They have lost players over the years, Jeff, but this is a team that I have my eye on. And when you scroll through social media around 6, 7 o'clock Eastern time, you're not seeing many people putting picks out on this Tampa Bay Lightning team like they would have been 2 years ago.
No, I agree. And you're getting some great numbers. And again, it's when I read the market, again, I would have been all over the Florida team total over the 3.5 at plus money, but I'm not going to lay 145 for them to get to 3. You know that. So they play those Jedi mind tricks there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on the slate. Got about 10 minutes before you have to leave to your next show. My headline was, will the Bruins go down in flames tonight at Calgary? Thoughts on the Bruins? And after that thought, take us through what your eyes see in tonight's big slate in the NHL.
Jeff, you know how we've said before about the team total? Well, you said this, and I've listened. I won't take credit for this, but the perfect price for the team totals, like there's almost like a magic number that we look for. And yesterday is the number you could have gotten plus 110 or 115 on the Oilers, and they still hit that despite the result of that game and some of these games. Well, I'm a little bit thrown off because because it's a low total. The price is like super, super high. And I was actually on Adam Kaufman's radio show, the Boston radio show last night. And I said, if you guys want to get a little bit greedy, the team total over 3.5 is like plus 160 right now on this team. And it's dropped overnight. But as you know, I'm pretty down on this Calgary Flames team. Every single website that I look at for my analytics speaks on both goaltenders screaming for regression. And the Calgary Flames are coming off a 3-0 win. They're coming off a dominant game. And I think that they're not able to put up back-to-back good performances. And look at this Bruins team. 5-1 loss to the Kraken. They turn that around in season revenge over the Canucks. They go from a 5-1 loss to a 5-1 win. I think they build off that. I think they take some confidence out of that. And I think they're victorious tonight. So I do think that they win the game. I do think there's a solid chance they will get to 4 goals. I think that there's different examples of regression, Jeff. And here's an example as well. Obviously, no Ovechkin is on the Washington Capitals right now. But look at the scoring on that team. Even when they win games right now, they're winning them in low scoring. So the goaltending hasn't regressed, but the goal scoring has regressed. Because sometimes you can look at the shooting percentage for a team and you can say, well, there's no way they can maintain, this many goals per X amount of shots. And that I'm an eye test guy. I watch hockey a ton. But I do like looking at some of these analytical numbers, and a lot of these numbers tell me that Calgary just defensively cannot be relied upon. So I think the Bruins are going to get going here. I think they're the team to bet on tonight. What do you think?
No, I agree, and you're right. They did go to over 2.5 to -155, with Calgary over 2.5 -125. I'd almost try to get cute here if you like the Bruins side. Now, again, Swayman has been a puddle of late, and Korpisalo has been 3 or less of most of the time this year. But I'd almost try to get cute here if I wanted to take the Bruins side and take the Calgary team total under 2.5 and get that at +105, hoping they stay, obviously below the field goal number.
I like that. And the total dictates that's how you should play it. And then you don't really have to worry about how the Bruins win. It kind of does have that feeling. It could be kind of a 2-1, 3-2, and you're sweating out that 4th goal. If you if you got greedy and you look at the number, it's definitely dropped, Jeff. I could be wrong. It was about 1 a.m. last night when I was in my office, but I swear I saw +160 on that 3.5. Does that sound right to you? So now I'm seeing +145 at the same sports book. So money must have come in on the Bruins.
No, you're right. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. There's some crazy stuff that goes on late night. You got 5 minutes here to pucks, props, thoughts, shots, you name it. The board is yours.
Well, Jeff, look, there's a Canadian team that is definitely making some moves, and they're actually currently sitting in a playoff spot. The Ottawa Senators. They have played much better hockey as of late, and they had a big homestand. But here's the deal. They're about to go on the road, and they're about to play their longest road trip of the season. And maybe it doesn't get off on a bad start. So let me preface it with this. If I'm wrong tonight about them losing, I'm going to bet against them again. This is a team that I do not think is going to do well on the road here in this road trip. They're going to benefit from being at home, getting the last change, feeling comfortable in their environment. When they go on the road in this game against Seattle, Seattle will not be happy after their last performance that they had. They're going to be highly motivated. They're home dogs in this one. I think they get the job done. I also think that the defensive play and the goaltending, it can only bail out Ottawa for so long. And the really funny thing is, they've been actually, usually it was the other way around, right? Like they were getting so many shots on goal on teams over the years, and they were getting goalied, and then their goalie would give up an easy goal, and then they'd lose. Now they've got Allmark making multiple key saves for them a game, and you're telling me the Senators are winning games with 2 or 3 goals? I think we've seen a 2-0 and a 3-0 in the past 2 weeks with this Senators team. It's shocking to me. Look, they've got Batherson, they've got the Kachuk, they've got Stützle. These guys are playing well, but I think this is a good spot for the home team. Release the Kraken tonight. I will take the Kraken to get the job done at home. Look, Rangers and Predators. This one is interesting because I always think about Dave Koken with games like this, because he would always say, if a line seems weird, you play the team it's weird on, because it's weird for a reason. And maybe I'm paraphrasing what he would say, but having said that, give me the Rangers +110. No way I'm taking the Preds -130 at home. I can't do it. I cannot do it. This Rangers team, if we're talking about analytics, Jeff, they've actually still been playing good hockey. Have I not been laughing and making fun of this team on social media for all their losses? Yes, I definitely have been having some fun at their expense, but they're still playing well. And this is the thing. Nashville's game is having a great goaltender and winning low-scoring games. Well, what do the Rangers have? They have a great goaltender, and they know how to win low-scoring games as well. So I think this is kind of a matchup nightmare for the Nashville Predators. Obviously, they've kind of been playing below their means as well, and they're just coming off that loss against Colorado, and they've been struggling. But I still think that the New York Rangers are most likely to play tonight. I definitely, and unless you have to run, Jeff, I owe you a few minutes of few minutes extra. I owe it to you. Canadians and Sabres. I'm curious your thoughts here because I've got a biased opinion, but but from a handicapping perspective, -135 road team is on a 10-game losing streak. You talk about trust in the number. Are we trusting them that my Habs are good? Because a lot of Habs fans, I follow a ton of social media accounts for the Canadians and bloggers and reporters. Everybody is saying, oh boy, we got a team coming into town on a 10-game losing streak. You know what that means. They're going to break their streak against us and end up winning tonight. But what do you think about this, honestly, about this? I know you said you've struggled with the Canadians this year, but we got a -135 road team that's lost double-digit games in a row.
Well, it's funny. As we're speaking, DraftKings has got now in red up to 135, Caesars 130, Bet Online 128. The overnight number was -130. So money did come in at the circa on the Habs, now 116 plus 106 with the 6 over. When I look at the team totals, this is what really gets me. The Sabres team total over 3.5, under -155. So I can get the Sabres to get to 4 or better at plus 135. And here's the funny of all funnies. Your Montreal Canadiens 2.5 over -150. So I try to find an angle here. And for me, they're listening right now. They're listening. The circuit just bumped it up to 123. So good morning, Mr. Benson. Good morning, Mr. Stevens. Thank you for listening here. I cannot pick a Montreal game with tomorrow's newspaper. I can't. It just doesn't matter. But this game is telling me, 4-3. First 1-4 wins this game 4-3. So anyone watching and listening wants some pizza and beer, you go play the exacta. Buffalo 4, Montreal 3, and then you go back and play Montreal 4 and Buffalo 3. It's probably going to be 3-3 overtime. But I'm telling you, final score 4-3.
We got to clip that. Clip it up. 4-3 for somebody. The last time these teams played, it was an early game. I think it might have been a holiday. 7-5 was the score. First period, 1-1. Second period, 3-2. Third period, 3-2. So, I mean, look, both teams hit their team total in that one. And so I think it's fair to say it'll certainly be a popular pick on the board to be taking the full game over in this game. The thing that I'll point out from a Montreal Canadiens perspective, just as someone that watches the team every game, unfortunately, they've got a real issue right now, Jeff, where they're not playing their backup goalie. They seem to have just given up hope on him, like completely. So their backup Primo, he was really, really good in the AHL. And then whenever he would come up, like over the last 3 or 4 years, whenever he would come up to the pros, he just wouldn't look good. He'd go back to the AHL and he would get shutout after shutout, allow one goal or and he'd come to the NHL again. It's a confidence thing, it seems to be. And then last year, they were worried to put him on waivers because they were worried a team would claim him. And apparently it was going to be Philadelphia, the team that his father played with. But now, if they put him on waivers, if no one takes him, they have to worry about what they're going to do with the guys down there in Laval, and then they take one of those guys away from their development. So the reason why I bring it up is because Montembeault has been pretty good for the Canadians. Like if you look at it, besides that, that blowout loss a couple nights ago, where a lot of those are defensive plays by the Canadians, he's been good. At what point does he get worn out, though? At what point is he, starting 6 or 7 straight games in a row is not a healthy thing for a goaltender to do. So that's kind of something that I look at when I look at some of this stuff, because you do want to have, who it really applies to is UC Saros for the Nashville Predators. I believe I was looking at some really interesting stats last night, and I think UC Saros has the most minutes played as a goaltender, for the Nashville Predators. And, that can definitely wear on a team. One more live dog I like tonight. I like the Penguins plus 120 at home. I feel like I've had a good read on this Penguins team. They're an underdog that I'm kind of liking here. And, it's one of those feelings I have where this Kings team, it kind of seems to me like everything has just been going really well for them as of late. They had that stinker against the Devils, but they beat the Senators, they beat the Stars, they beat the Wild, they beat the Islanders. A little bit of a flat spot against the Devils, and they come back in a 5-1 win over the Rangers. I think on the road here, we're going to take we're going to fade the Kings and take the Penguins at plus 120.
And I'm looking at the team totals there. You can get the Kings team total over 3.5 at plus 130. Pittsburgh team total 2.5 over minus 130. And under over 6 under minus 15 cents. I see a tight checking game here. I really do. Kind of the Kings style here, where you roll the puck out there in Pittsburgh. First one to 5 or 6 wins that game. I think Kings will control the pace here. Just reading the market right now, I mean, most Pittsburgh fans, people that follow them, will run to the window. Hey, they can get to 3 easy. I only got to lay 30 cents. I'd be careful on that side, though.
Okay. All right. That was just kind of a lean. It definitely wasn't anything I was running to the window for, but that LA King team, it's reliable in certain spots, but when they're off a 5-1 victory, and what's funny to say, Jeff, is that when the Pittsburgh Penguins are becoming kind of a letdown spot for teams, that's how we're all getting older. Because the Pittsburgh Penguins were never a letdown spot for anybody. They were always the best of the best. When you're talking about the Celtics and the Alabamas, that's what the Pittsburgh Penguins were for years. And now, well, I don't know if Pittsburgh, we don't really even know what Pittsburgh really is. So who they are. Are they a bad team? Are they a good team? Are they that team that's just going to be kind of right there again, right outside the wild card spot, just peeking in the window at the teams that are in the playoffs? I'm not sure what they are, but I'm curious to see, because let's be honest, teams aren't showing up to Pittsburgh with that same intensity they were 10 years ago. That's for sure.
100,000% here. Scroller been going the whole time. We've had the odds and everything up there. Everyone knows to go to Twitter at McInnis Picks. They know to find your work at Wager Talk, of course, but how we always end the segment here. Tell them what you got behind the paywall at Wager Talk.
Yeah, $5 day over at Wager Talk. I have not released my play yet because I was still figuring out which one I wanted it to be. So that package will be up this afternoon at wagertalk.com, $5. And Jeff, we're going for double-digit wins in a row tonight. So I'm super excited about that. 9 in a row. Yesterday, we had the over 1.5 in the Florida and Edmonton game. And this hasn't been a long stretch. I'll be transparent about that. It was a big day on Saturday. We cashed one on Sunday, and we had a winner earlier or late in last week. But hey, 9 straight NHL winners. I'll take it anytime I can get it. Hopefully, we can turn it into double digits. And guys, again, my play today, best bet, favorite spot of the day is going to be just $5 over at Wager Talk. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
No, thank you. Only 8 minutes to your next show. Tell Dan I said hello, and we'll be talking on via text, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good. See you.
Take care. One and only Andrew McInnis. Go follow him at McInnis Picks, at Wager Talk, WT.buzz/am. We're going to go to a couple quick commercial breaks, and when we get back, we're going to wrap it up. Stay tuned.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot.
ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Yourself a merry little Christmas night. And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Andrew McInnis, go follow him at McInnis Picks. Head on over to Wager Talk, and it's $5 Tuesday. Go shopping, have some fun here as we are 1 week away from Christmas Eve here. It's one of those weeks where everyone is busy, show views and everything down. People are running around, decking the halls, getting their last minute stocking stuffers and stuff. So it is what it is. We're going to try to keep everyone updated on exactly what's going on here. Tonight, ECSI Christmas party. I'm taking the local boys out for some pizza, some wings at a sports bar here. We're going to talk shop. We're going to get ready for 2025, our 10-year anniversary, which is just going to be epic. And we are super stoked for that. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, Brady Kannon will be back. Do a recap on the golf season. We'll talk some NFL with him. We'll talk some circa contests. He does a great podcast on all the contests there, as I think one person lost last week in circa. I think they're down to 50, 51, 54, something like that. Only one person lost. So it's probably going to come down to who you have left on that Christmas day to get you to that Sunday. And then, of course, hopefully the final week there. Tyler Wyatt will be following Brady Kannon. We'll talk some college hoops. And he will be getting ready to go to Tennessee, Ohio State football on Saturday. So we'll pick his brain on the college bowl games as well there. And then hopefully at 5 o'clock, the closing bell, we'll get Riley Magnuson back in. We'll talk about his Packers. We'll talk some NFL. And we'll get ready for the Wednesday scoreboard or market there. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, one and only Andrew McInnis at McInnis Picks. We wish everyone a blessed day. Have some fun. Remember, stay in your lanes. It is the season. Be grateful. Be happy for what you have and not what you want. We will see you soon.